Firstly, I would like to thank all of you who have turned up here today and the President, Matthew, for giving me the opportunity to speak on this debate. 1967. That is the year that homosexuality was legalized in England. Before this, any person who engaged in homosexual activity was subject to imprisonment or, as endured by the famous mathematician and Enigma codebreaker Alan Turing, subject to chemical castration. Activists have fought long and hard for equal rights for the LGBTQ+ community, which brings us here today. A key thing in this debate is to ask what is the commercialization of pride, something I will make clear shortly. Furthermore, the motion is not asking whether it is harmful or it is good, but whether or not the good can outweigh the harm, and this is what shall be demonstrated tonight. I will address 2 points. The first being that the commercialization of pride has increased awareness of the issues that the LGBTQ+ community face, and secondly, how financially the support from the commercialization of pride is necessary. But before we get to that, it falls on me to introduce you to the speakers opposite, as is tradition in this chamber. You've just heard from Alex McGovern, a second-year history student at New College and a press and sponsorship officer here at the Union. Speaking in a pride debate, I must reiterate that love should be without limits. We are free to love whomever we choose. This extends to Alex here, who once said, "I love you" to somebody after only one date, to somebody he had no romantic interest in. I can only guess he found it extremely awkward not to say it back after she was the first one to say it over Snapchat. Next, you'll hear from Edward Lord, who is an elected member of the City of London Court of Common Council and a strong advocate for the LGBTQ+ community and a leader in within London for inclusion. Edward's Twitter bio begins with the catchy words of leadership, integrity, collaboration, inclusion. In 2011, Edwards was at the heart of a lobbying scandal. Journalists from The Independent posed as representatives from Uzbekistan and tried to get Edward here to lobby for them as a representative for a company he was not even affiliated to, even though he claimed to be. I'm not too sure about the integrity part of that bio. Next, we've got Leo Buckley, a second-year history student from Trinity College, who is a member of Standing Committee here at the Union. Leo was thrown out of his accommodation at Trinity for throwing too many loud parties, but don't worry, he now lives on a houseboat. This odd decision was covered extensively by a Cherwell article describing the state of the boat. I mean, I'm not sure I'd like somebody to come into my house and describe it as musty or having a kitchen that's not looked like it's been cleaned in years. I'm glad I'm on this side of the house tonight. After reading that Cherwell article, I wouldn't want to be on the sinking ship. To the President, these are your guests and they are most welcome. Global brands have massive markets and global influence. Just today, I passed a coffee shop which had pride flags hung up outside. Not only does this symbolize acceptance, but it is a constant reminder of the struggles that the LGBTQ+ community face. Brands have the outreach to spread this awareness, from seeing it on coffee cups, brand logos, to social media, things that we engage with every single day. It forces people who may not have previously thought about the issues of the LGBTQ community to engage with this, and it helps us to challenge bigotry. The impact that global companies have had on increasing awareness is huge. Furthermore, global brands have the ability to share this message across the world. Recently, Starbucks launched an ad in India, a more conservative society than the UK, promoting accepting a transgender person into family and society. At the same time, the Indian Supreme Court is looking at the potential of legalizing same-sex marriage. Their international presence, even if it's just through social media, can have an impact on the entire world in promoting awareness. Everybody going about their day-to-day lives are now exposed to pride, which forces people to engage in the topic. This leads to discussions amongst individuals which are vital to confront the issues that the community faces. The commercialization of pride has allowed for Pride to become more mainstream and for everybody to work together to further and equalize the rights and liberties of everybody in society. Now I move on to my second point. I mean, I'm not going to deny the fact that companies who promote Pride are still aiming to make profits. However, the commercialization of Pride has allowed everybody to, during June, if they wish, to go to Westgate or any of the major stores in their area and purchase Pride-related clothing or merchandise if they wish. I mean, I could pop to Westgate and be back from my comm in 20 minutes with Pride merchandise. Those of you in colleges a bit further away, it might take a bit longer, but I mean, living in the city centre is definitely very nice. Those on the other side of the house tonight might argue that selling these products are of little benefit to the community. I mean, if any of you here tonight are wearing any Nike products, Nike supports and donates to several LGBTQ charities. Those of you that own Crocs, firstly, I'm not going to hear any Crocs slander. Crocs are amazing.
What's the link between purchasing Pride merchandise and Pride activism?
Through purchasing Pride, when you're going to parades, when you're going to events, many people enjoy, and many people would like to have Pride merchandise with them when they go to these things, and it's much easier now to obtain this merchandise than it would have been many years ago. So, just to continue with my statement, those of you who do own Crocs, Crocs are amazing. They're comfortable. I'll argue they're stylish, even with socks. And most importantly, Crocs donates to an organization called GLAAD, which aims to ensure accurate LGBTQ media representations. I can continue to list many global brands that, although they are profiting off the commercialization of Pride, donate and assist LGBTQ charities and events. No, denied, sorry. These charities go on to do amazing work, educating people, helping people financially who may have suffered due to their identity, and hiring lawyers to fight legal battles against discrimination. Saima Razak here runs a not-for-profit hotel on a boat in order to provide access to people of colour in Birmingham. The funds are necessary for all these brilliant endeavours. The first Pride March in the UK was held in 1972, where around 200 to 500 people marched through the streets of London. Compare that to the Pride Parade in 2019, where over 1 million people attended the Pride Parade in London. The amount of funding required to organise parades and other events that are this large cannot be done without funding. Sponsorship is necessary for these large events to be held. Not only is the commercialisation of Pride good, it is necessary for these events to be run well. Without the commercialisation of Pride, we would not have such large-scale events and have financially strong LGBTQ charities that do so much good work and continue to build awareness, acceptance, and rights across all sectors of society. Equality. This is the end game, irrespective of gender or sexual orientation, for all individuals in society to have the same rights. The commercialisation of Pride increases awareness, discussion, and provides a large amount of vital finances to charities and events. When you're walking through that door tonight, I want you to consider, would Pride be so big without commercialisation? Thank you very much.